So first of all, for our cute little snowman cup holder, we have the side pieces here. And as you can see, they're numbered on the side. Each one, your machine will have cut the number into the side of each piece, and I went ahead and darkened mine in with markers for this video so you could see it. And it's a little different this time than some of my other projects because they are different colored sides. So this will be the edge of the hat and the rest of it. So then we also have some hat pieces, which we'll get to later, the carrot, some support pieces, 2 brads for the eyes, and then I've also got a big piece of scrap paper here to protect my work surface because we're going to get a little bit messy with our glue. And then I've got the 2 pieces that make up the front. You can tell they're the front because they've got the cutouts for the eyes and the nose. And then 2 similar pieces for the back, which have smaller holes and no cutouts for the face. Then finally we also have the front panel and the back panel, which are going to go on the outside of the front and the back. So I'm going to start with the front, and I want to take the taller piece here. That's what we're going to put inside first. So the first thing we want to do is put some glue on the side tab of piece number 1 and attach piece number 2 to it. And then go ahead and attach piece number 3 to piece number 2. And if you look very closely, you can see the little score lines, which help you line it up just right. And then some glue on piece number 3 and attach piece number 4 to it. And then we'll go ahead and close up the loop, so to speak, with some glue on piece number 4. So now I've got all of my sides glued together, and this flat area is the bottom of the snowman. This black area up here is the hat, and it's going to be shaped like this, basically just like this. So it doesn't matter which way you turn it because he's symmetrical. So what I want to do is fold all of these little teeth, kind of just gently fold them out of the way. And what I'm going to do is glue this right inside. So first, I'm going to put some glue along the bottom. And this piece is going to be completely hidden. You're not going to even see it. So I'm just placing that right inside the bottom here. So it is glued together just right here. And the next thing I want to do is put some glue on these 2 pieces here so that we can anchor these areas here where his head meets his body, so that doesn't slip out of place on both sides. And then some glue on these 2 bottom black tabs to anchor those into place on the sides. And then we can go ahead and put some glue all the way down this side here. Kind of fold those over and push down from the inside. And go ahead and do that on the other side. And if I get glue all over the front of my snowman, it's okay because it's going to be hidden. So now all we want to do is put some glue on the areas that don't have the glue yet, such as around his little cheeks, around his hat. Fold those over. Technically you could try to just do it all at once, but I think if you anchor those areas first, it's a lot easier. So, because then everything falls into place where it's supposed to be, and you're good. So, I'm going to go ahead and push down all the way around to make sure that my tabs are being held into place the right way. Then, I'm going to, this piece is going to get glued onto the face, but as long as it's flat, let's go ahead and glue our front panel into place. And I used some nice shimmery white paper for this. It would also look cute with white glitter paper, which I did before, or maybe like a white snowflake pattern would be cute. I think anything that's decorative and white is going to look really cute. So now that my decorative panel is glued onto this front piece, I'm going to go ahead and glue it right onto my front of my snowman here. So I want a nice little line of glue around the edge and some glue in the middle, and then I'm going to place that right on the front of my snowman, making sure that these eye holes line up nicely and that the sides line up nicely. Then on a clean area of my scrap paper here, I'm going to put it face down and just push down to make sure that that glue is taking hold, nice and flat. And there we go. So now is a good time to go ahead and put our little eyes into place. I've got two little 1/4 inch-ish black brads that I just happen to have in my stash. I just realized that I made a little mistake here, and I forgot to trim these tabs down. So if your tabs are sticking out a little bit on the bottom like that, go ahead and trim them off. I apologize, I forgot to update that. So now we can go ahead and put the hat into place. There are two pieces that look like this. They're identical. We want to go ahead and put this in place, but we only need the glue on the main part of the hat, just like this. And then glue that right into place. And then in a clean area of the scrap paper, I'm going to flip it over and push down from the inside. So now we can take our boxes. There are 3 pieces like this. I went ahead and turned 2 of them into the boxes that they're going to be. And I put some glue on that side tab there. Fold it flat to make sure it's nice and perpendicular, nice square angles. And then go ahead and fold the top and bottom into place. So these we want to glue inside just to add some support. So it doesn't really matter where, just kind of evenly spaced out, and they are perfect squares, so it doesn't matter which way you turn it, which side you glue down. I think this is a good placement, just like this. Then we can go ahead and take, there's these 2 back sides, we want this taller one here, and we are going to glue this into place by first putting it like this. And you can glue those, you can put some glue on those squares if you want or not. I think it's nice actually if you don't, because then you have the freedom to kind of scooch it around a little bit if you need to. So next, I just want to get these tabs all folded over. So that I can put some glue on the edge of this final back piece here. Putting some glue, a nice line of glue all the way around the edge and then some in the center. And then I'm going to use that to sandwich those teeth, those tabs down into place. With all the glue that's on the bottom of the teeth and on the top of the teeth, as it starts to dry, I want to make sure things are lined up nicely. I just realized that I made a little mistake here, and I forgot to trim these tabs down. So if your tabs are sticking out a little bit on the bottom like that, go ahead and trim them off. I apologize, I forgot to update that. If this glue up here is getting a little dry, maybe add a little bit more underneath those teeth. Press them down a little bit, and then take the other part of our hat here, get a nice line of glue around it with some in the middle. I'm going to wipe a little bit off. Since this is black paper, it will show through if I get too much glue on there and it starts coming out the sides. If yours are not sticking out, that means that you got a newer version that has been updated. If you would like the new version, just send me an email to mary@svgcuts.com. Otherwise, just trim those off. All I did was trim a little bit underneath here because those were sticking out. I'm sorry about that. Now I can go ahead and put this back panel in place. And again, it is symmetrical, so if you want to flip it over, use the other side of your paper, you can. Either way is going to work. But you just want to center that nicely on there. Then you can go ahead and put some glue on the long part of one of these pieces. If you want to rub a white ink pad around the edge of it to add some dimension first, I think that looks really nice. Then I'll put a little glue here, glue this guy into place like so, and get this guy into place. So there is our hat, super cute. Now all that's left to do is put our nose into place. So to do that, I wanted to make this just all one piece so there's not as much gluing. So you want to just fold the sides of these over so that you can put a dot of glue on that long skinny tab and glue each piece side to side like this. And you can always just wipe your glue off as you go if you need to. And then close it up with some glue on these two side tabs. So finally, you just want to fold these over, glue them into place like this, fold this bottom part over, and then put some glue on that or not, it doesn't even need glue, and just put that into place to make his cute little nose. Then all I did was put some cute little branches from outside right in the sides, and then I tied a cute little ribbon around his neck. I actually used chalk paper for his hat, so I put some chalk on it, and he looks super cute. Next, for our cute little Christmas tree cup holder, as you can see, there are panels on the front and the back. So we've got, I went ahead and glued my star onto the front panel, and then if you have a pop dot or something, you can put the other layer of the star there. Then this is the other part of the front, and this part is the interior of the front. So basically, if you layer those up, you can tell those are all the front pieces, because these holes are the same size and they are a little bit larger than the holes in the back. So the back side, there's a back panel, and then there's two pieces like this, and these holes are all the same size on these two pieces, and they're a little bit smaller than on the front, so you can tell that's the back. So what we want to do is take our side pieces here, and each piece has a number which your machine will have cut into the side, and I went ahead and darkened that in with a marker so that you could see it in this video. So what I'm going to do is glue them all side to side, 1 through 4. So as you can see, I put some glue on piece number 1, and I'm gluing piece number 2 to it. And I'm going to work my way down, gluing all 4 pieces together side to side. So glue on, I'm gluing piece number 4 onto piece number 3, and then closing up the loop here with some glue on the final tab there. So you can see the tree starting to take shape here, and you can see that this will be the bottom where the trunk is, and it doesn't matter which side is the front or the back because it's symmetrical. So what we want to do is take a nice piece of scrap paper so you can protect your work surface a bit, and then I want to gently fold these top pieces out of the way a little bit, with the bottom pieces also folded out of the way, just on the top here, just because we're going to insert something here, so we want to kind of make way for that to come in. And then on the bottom, those tabs are all folded under. So what we are going to do is take our front piece that has the bottom, not the front piece that does not have the trunk on it, not this one. We want to take this one with the large holes and the trunk, and that's going to get glued right inside, going face down inside there. So technically you can go ahead and you can put a line of glue all the way around it, put it right into place, or if you'd like to go tab by tab and be more meticulous, you can do that. Either way, whatever you're more comfortable with is totally cool. I'm going to go ahead and anchor the trunk into place, and I want to make sure everything's nice and snug. All the edges are lined up how they're supposed to be down here. So I've got my trunk into place, and if you get glue on the front of this, it doesn't matter because it's going to be hidden anyway. So I can gently move this out of the way, put some glue on most of the length of these long tabs. Can't quite get all the way in there. So there's pros and cons to doing it all at once versus piece by piece. You can be a little more careful if you do it piece by piece, but it can be a little trickier to get your glue inside. So either way you are going to be good. So I'm going to get some glue underneath the rest of this long tab, as well as get some glue underneath these teeth here on the bottom, flip it over, and push down from the inside. So now I have quite a bit of glue in there. Now we can go ahead and glue the front, the front of the tree without the trunk into place. So I want a nice line of glue around the edge and some in the middle. And then I can go ahead and put that into place. So the edges are lining up nicely. I'm going to find a clean area of my scrap paper here. Put it face down and push down from the inside so that all those sides are lined up nicely and our project's nice and flat. So next, I can take my little decorative trunk piece. Mine just happens to be this pretty pattern that I love, and glue that right into place on the bottom. Got the edges lined up really nicely. I'm going to flip it over in a clean area of my scrap paper. And then I can put my front panel in place, like so. With a nice line of glue around the edge and some glue in the middle. And then I just want to center that nicely on the front. So again, I can, once I've got it positioned nicely, I can flip it over on a clean spot of my scrap paper and push down from the inside once again. So the next thing we can do is put our little boxes in place. So I already put together 3 of them. There are 4. And they're just some little support pieces so that your project doesn't get flattened. And so it's just sturdier and nicer. Pretty quick and straightforward to put these guys together. You just want to glue that side tab into place and then glue the front, or the top and the bottom rather, into place. And these are going to be completely hidden, so they don't have to look perfect, but you do want them to be nice and square edges. So as you can see, it's taller than it is wide, so you want it to be sitting tall, and I think a good layout for them is like this. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on each one and glue these guys right into place. You just want to make sure that it's not sticking up or sticking, so you don't want to see it through the holes basically. So those are in place, and now we've got these 2 guys, which are the back pieces. They're identical, and we can go ahead and put them into place. So what we want to do is put a nice line of glue down one side, fold this edge down, put another nice line of glue here, fold this edge down, and then along the bottom. And I want to work kind of quickly because I don't want my glue to dry too much. But as you can see, I'm doing that all the way around. And now I want to put some glue on the top. A nice line of glue pretty close to the edge, as well as a bit in the center, and then some glue on these little tabs here so that these tabs are basically sandwiched with glue on both sides. And then I can take my other backside piece and glue that right into place. So I have gone a little heavy with my glue because it's showing through the sides. As long as I wipe it off before it dries, I'll be okay. But you just want to put that into place so that everything is lined up nicely. And there you have it. So now I can go ahead and glue my back panel into place to finish it off. And then, as you can see on my final project, these little guidelines, these little dots are just supposed to be guidelines so that if you want to put some like garland, you can. So to do that, I took a pipe cleaner. I took 3 gold chenille stems or pipe cleaners, whatever you want to call them. And I put a line of hot glue underneath each one, and I just carefully bent it and held it in place and then pushed it down a little bit. And I only did it on the front, and then I trimmed it off on the side, and then I added some little straight pieces. So it looks like it's bent, but I think it's easier to do if you just do the front first and then add some little scraps on the side. And that's it. So next, for our cute little reindeer cup holder, I've got the two pieces that make up the sides here, and then I've got some pieces that make up the back and the front. So you can tell which ones are the front because they have some little holes cut out for the eyes, which are brads. We've got this cute little mouthpiece here. I went ahead and glued his black mouth into place. And then 2 little brown ears, which get glued like this. And that gets glued here. So if you want to go ahead and put his ears and antlers into place, you can. Like this on both sides. As well as you can go ahead and put his little cheeks in place. So now we want to go ahead and take the 2 side pieces and we're going to glue them together side to side. It doesn't matter which one you start with, as long as you just carefully glue it into place. And then close it up with the other side tab. Then you want to grab your scrap paper, and since this reindeer, his head is not symmetrical since it's kind of to the side a little bit, so you can see my finished one here. As you can see, it kind of leans to the side, and there's a longer straight pieces here on the right side of his face. So this is how you want it to be going face down, with these 2 longer pieces on your left. So you don't want it like this, you do want it like this. Wait. Okay. So you want to have these two longer pieces here. As you can see, it's not symmetrical since his head is kind of turned to the side. So we want these longer pieces here on your right hand side. This is going face down, and we want to just kind of gently move these tabs out of the way so that you can put this piece face down inside. So this guy, this is face up with his head turned to the right, so face down would be this way. So we want to go ahead and put a line of glue all the way around the edge, and then just carefully place that inside your shape. And we want all the edges nice and snug, so you should kind of squeeze them together a little bit on the side, the bottom sides there, and then the rest of it just falls right into place. So making sure it's nice and snug, go ahead and push down from the inside so that all those guys are glued nicely into place. Then we can go ahead and put a line of glue around the edge, going all the way out to the edges and then a little bit inside, and go ahead and place his face using the holes that are cut out for his eyes as guidelines, and go ahead and pop his little collar into place also. Then on a clean area of your scrap paper, you can go ahead and put it face down and push down from the inside. So there is his cute little face. And at this point, if you would like to put his eyes into place, what I did for his eyes is I used some white brads. These are probably about 1/4 of an inch wide, and I just doodled them in with a Sharpie, just a little curved, nice little curved line. I did that to both of them and then put it through the hole. So of course, if you would like to stick a googly eye on there, that would be cute too. This I think looks a little different, and cool. You can kind of have him looking to the side. I think it's kind of cute if he's looking towards his nose, but whatever you would like to do, it's gonna look super cute. Or if you just wanted to use some plain black brads, that would be cute too. So I'm going to go ahead and open those up and then put my little boxes in place. So there are 3 little boxes. I went ahead and put 2 of them together. They're different colors only so that I could fit them on the mat without using more paper. And since you're not going to see them, it doesn't really matter what color they are. So I'm putting them together just with some glue on that side tab, and then gluing the top and bottom into place, like so. And then it doesn't really matter where they go inside. your project, as long as they're not showing through that hole. So we just want them to be there for support. And now we can take this piece, this lighter piece, and put some glue around the edge of it. Put that in place and fold these edges over. And then before it dries, we want to glue this guy into place. So I'm putting some glue around the edge of it, a little bit in the middle, and then placing that right on the back as I squeeze those bottom sides into place so that it's a nice clean edge. So you just want to hold that as it dries for a little bit and make sure things are lined up nicely. If you've got some excess glue coming out the side, you can wipe it off. Give it a chance to dry, and then you are all set. So next for our stocking box, which I've got here, it's nice and finished off. Oops, I kind of smashed my plastic a little bit, but it's nice and finished off on the inside of the top and the bottom. It's cute because you can see your little treats through there. And let's work on the, I'm going to make the lid first. So the top of the stocking is this piece. There's a number 1 on the side. We've got this piece. There's a number 2 here, as well as this side piece too has a 3 on it. Then we've got these pieces, and this is a liner piece, which will go on at the end. So what we want to do first is glue our sides together, 1, 2, and 3. So your machine will have cut a 1, a 2, and a 3 into the side tabs of these pieces, just to help you, just to make it obvious which piece goes where. So there's also on the white piece up here, there's 2 tiny little score lines that help you line up the edge of piece number 2 with the one underneath it. So again, there's 2 little score lines here, and that just helps you line up the next piece. So it's not meant to be folded, it's just there as a guideline to help you glue it just right into place. So again, down here, I've got those little guidelines too. And I can close this up. And there are the sides of my lid. So at this point, I can go ahead and glue the sides of my stocking into place and just fold those down on both sides. And I'm going to put it face down and push down from the inside. So then we can go ahead, and your stocking is going to be curved this way. So we can go ahead and put this into place. So these 2 holes up here are probably not necessary. I just put those there to make it really clear that this is the first piece to go in. But there really are no other pieces that look like it, so I guess that was probably not necessary. But in case you're wondering why there are 2 little holes up there, that's what I was thinking. So as you can see, I put glue around the edge of this piece, and then I just want to put that inside and carefully work my way around, making sure that all the edges here are nice and snugged up against the shape. So it kind of falls into place on its own, but it also helps to guide it into place and make sure that those are all going where they should. So you just want to glue this, just glue it right into place. And as it's dry, you can flip it over, take a look, and go ahead and glue this guy into place to finish it off. So that's probably easier to do if we put the glue on this piece, close to the edges, and in the middle. And glue that right into place to finish it off. So we'll want to go ahead and flip that back over on a clean part of your work surface of your scrap paper and push down from the inside again. So then we can take our clear plastic, and I'm going to put a line of glue just right in the middle, going all the way around, not too close to the edge, because since the plastic is not absorbent of the glue, the glue has a tendency to really spread out underneath the plastic and possibly show through. So I glued my plastic into place. Now I can glue my liner into place to cover all that up inside. And that finishes it off nicely inside my lid. So next for the lid also does have these panel pieces. If you would like to glue those into place, mine is just shimmery paper, which looks nice. For this one, I actually used vellum that came with this paper collection, and since I couldn't glue the vellum on, or you would see the glue, so I used some double-sided tape to put that in place. So the bottom of this guy goes together just like the top, basically, except there is no clear plastic and there is no hole, obviously. So it's the same exact process to glue this together, but I will go ahead and show you how that works here. Same thing, I'm just gluing these together 1 through 3, side to side, and closing it up like so. And it's going to be curved like this. So I want to take my bottom piece here. Oh, actually, I want to take my liner piece, which is a patterned piece, and I want to put glue around the edge of it with the boot facing to the left so that I can put it face down inside the sides. And I just want to guide it into place, just like I did with the lid, making sure the sides are nice and snug there. Everything's in the right place as the glue is taking hold. And there we go. Looks really nice from the inside. And then all that's left to do is cover this piece with glue going all the way out to the edges. Glue that to the back side, making sure to line it up nicely. And if you would like to rub a ink pad around the edges to make it look more finished, you can do that. And then if you want to strengthen up your box, in your extras folder for this project, there are these shapes. You can glue them together and glue those into the bottom if you want to make it stronger. So finally for our Snowflake Cookie Box, I've got the lid here. So let's make the lid first. It's got these 3 pieces here. So the one that's going to be in the middle has some little circles cut out of it, which will be hidden just to signify that that's, you know, the middle one. Then the one that's going to go on the top, oh wait, let's see. The one that's going to go on top, basically it's 3 layers. The largest one is going to be on the top. So if you line it up and you take a look, you can feel around the edges that this one is slightly larger. And then we've got the one with the holes in it, which goes in the middle. And then finally we've got the bottom one, which is a liner that's going to finish it off, and it's slightly smaller. So set this one aside. Keep your larger one handy and your circular one handy. And we've also got these sides here. So all we want to do is, if you take a look, you can see some little score lines here. We don't want to fold them. They're just there as guidelines, so you can see where to line up each piece. So I'm going to line that up nicely with my little guidelines. And as it's drying, you want to curve it a little bit. It's just going to help it go into a perfectly round shape as you're making it. So all 3 of these side pieces are the same, basically. Well, it doesn't matter what order they go in, is what I'm saying. So you want to glue them together side to side and kind of curve each one as it's drying. And then close it up by doing the same thing with the final side piece. So now we can make sure all these little teeth are bent over. And I did not line this one up very perfectly. I need to fix that. Let's see here. There we go. That's better. Okay, so we want to put this face down on some scrap paper, and then grab this guy with the little circles in it to go ahead and put a line of glue around the edge of it and put that into place inside the lid. So that just fits in there perfectly, and it makes it take a nice circular shape. So the top just needs to be covered up with the top part, nice and straightforward. So we can go ahead and put a nice line of glue around the edge of this piece. And this is the larger of the 3 similar white circles. And that's going to go right onto the top. So once you have it positioned nicely, we can flip it over on a clean area of your scrap paper. And then you can go ahead and grab your clear plastic, put a nice line of glue around the star shape, I'm not getting too close to the edge because since this plastic is not absorbent, the glue has a tendency to spread out a lot and show through. So next you can put your final white circle with the star cut out into place, and this is a liner just to cover everything up, finish it off, make it look nice. And it doesn't matter which way you turn it, all of those sides of the star shape are the same. So we'll just glue that guy into place. Then you can go ahead and glue your decorative panels in place. With this particular paper, I think this is enough, but if you would like, you can also put these guys into place around the edge and then glue your snowflake in place in the center. So for the bottom, that's going to go together the same exact way as the top, it's just simpler. So you're going to glue these 4 side pieces together side to side using these tiny little score lines as a guideline to help you line it up nicely, and as it's drying you want to curve it. Then you're going to go ahead and put the smaller of these two, one is slightly smaller, you want to put the smaller one face down inside just like we did, flip it over and glue the bottom into place just like we did with the lid, except it's simpler. Then if you would like to strengthen up the bottom of your box, this shape is in your this project extras folder, and the reason that it's like this was just so I could get 2 circles out of one piece of 12 by 12 paper. So you just want to glue these four pieces to the circle, maybe glue it to the bottom side so that when you put it in you just see the top circle. And if you want to cut it out a few times, make it 4 layers thick, then it's nice and sturdy enough for a bunch of cookies, which is what I did with mine. Good job, Winnie.